On October 20th, 2022, Ubuntu released its latest version of its operating system, version 22.10, Kinetic Kudu, and today I'll be going through the process of installing it on a virtual machine inside of Proxmox. Ubuntu 22.2, codenamed Kinetic Kudu, is the 37th Ubuntu release since 2004. It's a short-term release with just 9 months of support until July 2023. At the end of the installation, I'll be going over the new quick toggles of GNOME 43, which is one of the key features of this release. Alright, the first thing we're going to want to do is download the Ubuntu 22.10 image, and we're going to go ahead and Google Ubuntu, go to their official website, click on download, Ubuntu desktop. Just scroll down, you'll see right here Ubuntu 22.10, and it goes over this is the latest version of Ubuntu operating system for desktop laptops and PCs. It comes with 9 months of security and maintenance updates until July of 2023. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and hit download, get that downloaded, and while that's downloaded, we'll go to Proxmox. Go ahead and log in to your Proxmox server. Alright, once you have your ISO image downloaded, go to your node and your local storage. Here you'll see ISO images, and then you're going to press upload, select file, go ahead and find your Ubuntu ISO image file, and then click open. This will go through the steps of uploading the ISO image into Proxmox. And we are going to create a new VM. Alright, we're going to call this, let's call this Kinetic Kudu. And we're going to keep all this the same as default. Next, go ahead and find your image. Here you go, Ubuntu 22.10. Type Linux version. Next, go ahead and select qemu-guest-agent. Next, disk, we're going to keep these as default. 32 gigabyte disk size is fine. Cores, we're going to give this 3 cores, 1 socket. Memory, increase the maximum to 4096. 2048. So minimum memory of 2 gigabytes and a max of 4 gigabytes with ballooning. Hit next. For my setup, I have a LAN network internal to this Proxmox server. I don't need a firewall, it all gets filtered through pfSense. Hit next. Alright, all this stuff looks good. We'll start after created, hit finish. Alright, then we'll go to the Kinetic Kudu and watch it start up. So click on, ours is 106, console. It says try or install Ubuntu, just go ahead and hit enter. Alright, and this is the install window you'll see. Go ahead and click install Ubuntu. Keyboard layout, mine is English, continue, and then updates and other software. So you have 2 different versions that you can install here, normal installation or minimal installation. The only difference is minimal installation doesn't have all the pre-installed applications that you would with a normal install. For this demonstration, we're just going to do a minimal installation, goes by quicker. Ubuntu also recommends that you have both of these checked, so download updates while installing Ubuntu, and then install third-party software for graphics and Wi-Fi hardware and additional media formats. Click continue. Alright, and this is just, you can here select the drive you want to install Ubuntu on. You also have the option to enable encryption if you want to. If you go to advanced features, use LVM and new Ubuntu installation, and then you can check this box and encrypt the new Ubuntu installation for security purposes. For this demonstration, we're just going to keep it on none, and then click install now. And this is just saying that you're writing over your disk. So we're going to hit continue. If you're connected to the internet, which you should be whenever you start the installation, it will immediately find your location. I will keep it as that. I am on the East Coast though. And then you can edit your time zone or location in this section right here. Continue. Alright, we're going to go through the who are you page. So just type in my name, Darren Wood. We'll just keep this as Darren. Username Darren. Choose a password. Type in a password. Confirm that password. And obviously it's recommended to require a password to log in every time you are logged out. So we're going to continue. Alright, then you'll see the slideshow here, just show some of the features that Ubuntu offers. Alright, after the installation is complete, you'll get this restart your computer button. I'll go ahead and hit restart now. Alright, now your installation is complete, so you'll see your username that you set up. Go ahead and type in your password. And now we're logged in. There's still a couple things that we need to do first before we get started. So we'll go through these, the initial setup. For this, I'm just going to skip everything for now. Alright, and it's always good practice every time you install a desktop to make sure everything is up to date. So there's two ways. The easiest way is the software updater app, or you can use the terminal. We're going to show both in this tutorial. So go to the square down here, show applications, software updater. You click that. Software updater app will say it's checking for updates. Alright, and here you can see that there is an update that needs to be installed. So it says updated software has been issued since Ubuntu 22.10 was released. Do you want to install now? We're going to exit out of this so I can show you the terminal. Alright, to get to the terminal, it's going to be Control-Alt-T or Control-Option-T, just depending on what your keyboard layout is like. So here we have the terminal opened up, so we're going to run two commands. One to check to see if updates need to be ran, and one to apply the updates if there are any. So you can do it's sudo apt update. This is to check for updates, and then sudo apt upgrade to apply those updates if there are any. And to do both, we're going to do sudo apt update ampersand twice, and then sudo apt upgrade. So this command is just saying look for updates, and if there are updates, apply the upgrades. And then we're going to hit enter. It's going to have you input your password. Alright, it's going to say, do you want to continue? On here, if you see a y/n, so obviously yes or no. If the y is capitalized, it usually means it's yes as default, so you can just hit enter instead of pressing y. Alright, and it's going to apply all those updates. Alright, the updates are complete. Okay, next thing we're going to do is install the qemu-guest-agent. So if we go back to Proxmox and go to summary in this virtual machine, you'll see down here that guest agent is not running, so we're going to get it running. Go back to the console. We'll make this full screen again. We're going to type in a couple commands to install the guest agent. So the first one's going to be sudo apt install qemu-guest-agent. I spelled install wrong. So it's going to be sudo apt install qemu-guest-agent. Alright, same thing here. If the y is capitalized, you can just hit enter. Alright, the guest agent has been installed. Next command is going to be sudo systemctl enable qemu-guest-agent. So qemu-guest-agent should be installed. We're going to go back and make sure guest agent is enabled in our options. So we should have done it during the creation of the virtual machine. So here you can see that qemu-guest-agent is enabled. By default it is disabled, so just make sure that is enabled. And then next thing we're going to want to do is restart the machine. So we're just going to stop the machine. Yes. Alright, once that's stopped, we're going to restart the machine. And you only have to do that if at the beginning when you created the virtual machine that you didn't enable qemu-guest-agent and it was disabled. Alright, once it reboots, go ahead and click your username again, type in your password. Alright, and there's two ways that we can check to make sure that the qemu-guest-agent is enabled. So if we open up our terminal again with Control-Option-T or Control-Alt-T, we can type in systemctl status qemu-guest-agent. Alright, yep, so here you can see active. It says active and running. And then we can also check if we go back to our virtual machine and go to summary. You can see right here is the IP address of the guest agent. And what the guest agent does is it allows you to send commands from the host to the guest agent. So in this case, from the node shell to the Ubuntu virtual machine. So just an example. So here the console is running, and then we can shut down the virtual machine via the node shell. We go to shell, alright, and then we can type in qm shutdown and then the virtual machine ID. So in this case, you see Kinetic Kudu is 106. Type in 106. And then hit enter. Alright, and it should be shutting it down. If we go back to the Kinetic Kudu, you see that the virtual machine has been shut down. So that's the benefit of having the guest agent installed through Proxmox. We're going to go ahead and get it started back up so we can go over some of the features of this update. Alright, after you have it restarted, username and password again. Alright, most of the features that were updated with Kinetic Kudu is with GNOME 43. One of the big ones being the quick toggles. So if we click up here in the top right corner, you'll see that you have quick toggled buttons. So you can switch between wired and wireless connections if you have that. Dark and light mode. So dark mode, light mode. The screen capture button, and that was introduced on GNOME 42, I believe, but you can, just a quick way of accessing screen capture. Settings, if you have volume or audio equipment, you can access those quickly in here too. You can also shut down, restart, and log out quickly in this tab right here. GNOME 43 is codenamed Guadalajara, and I'll be adding the release notes for GNOME 43 into the description if you'd like to take a look at the things that were changed yourselves. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.